Okay, I'm here. Just 1 second, getting things ready. Okay. Maybe I'll turn on that other light too, because there we go. All right. Sorry I'm late. I got involved on a actual paying gig and almost finished it, so it'll be finished tonight. So if they're watching, they'll know. Anyway, the head, the Gonzo head, which I haven't done too much work on, but I'm pretty happy with, at least at this point. I shaved a little too much off of this eye here. You can see there's a hole in it now. But other than that, let's see. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with him. Now I'm going to make a body for him, just a prototype body, because I'm not 100% sure this is the body I want to do, but if it isn't, I can always use it for something else. Because when I took measurements of the one that Terry built, the measurements were almost identical, or were identical as far as I could tell, to the Glee pattern that BJ made. So I'm just going to try and that. I'm going to make that head, or that body, and we'll see how it looks. And it may or may not be the one I'm using. Anyway, I'm putting I got out the Glee patterns and just looked for that one piece. This is the Glee, the T-Mobile, the what else is in here? T-Mobile, some stuff that I made for another commission. So basically, any human that I've made other than Benjamin Franklin is in this this thing right here. Okay, so that's the Glee body pattern. So I'm going to make that. I wonder if I should just make it out of. I think I might just make it out of upholstery foam right now, since I may have to alter it. If I can find some upholstery foam. There we go. The way that upholstery foam behaves is very similar to the way that half-inch Scott foam. I think it's just one piece, if I remember right. It's very similar to the way that the reticulated foam acts, so it'll be a good analog. It's already looking a little too short, but I can add to it to make it the right dimensions. When you have a pattern that works, it's often easier to start with something you know that works and then modify it than it is to start over from scratch again. So as you start to build your pattern library, it's always good to at least have a starting point. Rather than reinvent the wheel every time. I was gonna try and find that fleece or that fur that I have, the Sherpa fur, that's the wrong color, because I would like to have something resembling a body on this, a fur on this body and head, and maybe make an arm and a leg as well. I don't want to make both legs and both arms because it's just a waste of time if it's not right. My plan is to have kind of a dummy version of this with one leg and one arm that I can take over there, and I can make adjustments to if I need to before I make the finals. I don't really usually like to work this way. Like I kind of like to not have to start and stop and make adjustments once I think it's right. But since this is a local client and he does want to be able to put clothes that he already has on it, I want to make it as close as I can do it. Shut the door, open the window, put on the fan. Oh, in case you've never watched one of my videos before, I live right in the flight path, so get used to it. Luckily, they go around. They fly over so often you barely even notice it. Probably should order some more barge. I'm almost out. I could probably thin this and get a couple more weeks out of it. But And I usually don't use the hair dryer on the finals. I just use it when I prototype things, because it's not usually as strong as the bonds you get from letting it dry naturally for some reason. Okay, there's a body. So I'm cutting a bevel in the neck because it does get a little snug. I think he's thinner than I thought he was, or this body's thinner than I thought it was. I'm going to get out my sketchbook that has the measurements and check it. I should take one of these foam scraps and put it in the window and take a picture of it every day, see how yellow it gets and how fast it gets yellow. People who wonder. Like me. So that's the glee body that we have. Let's see. It looks a little small. Let me look at my notes. Okay, according to my notes here, it should be 9 inches from here to here. So let me see what it's at. What it is. It is 8 inches. Okay. And around here, so it looks like it's 8 inches on one end, 9 inches on the other. So let me see what we got here. From here to here is 8 inches. From here to here is 7 inches, so it's an inch too short. And around here, looks like about 9.5, and this should be 13 inches. So this is shaping up to not be the right size at all. But at least I didn't make it out of articulated foam, right? Okay, at the bottom here should be 17 inches. And it's actually 16. So it looks like around, all the way around, except for at the top, it's about an inch too small. Okay, I have some pictures that I can look at. Let me see. So that's his body on the one Terry made. Some of these might be ones that others have made. I'm not sure who. Huh, getting hair in my mouth. Just to show you, that's a clip from the the Secrets of the Muppets episode of the Jim Henson Hour. I think this is a reject Gonzo head. It's looking pretty close, actually. I can't get close enough to make them the same size. It's pretty close. Yeah, so you can see it's longer here. I have some pictures here someplace of him when he was being built. Let me see if I can see anything there. This is the most entertaining video I know that I've done. I know somewhere around here I have a reference picture. Here we go. So I should make something that looks like this. So looks like I'm going to be patterning. Okay, let's see what I got here. Looks like, to me, based on this, that it's basically 4 like this. This is one side of it. If that's the case, then I need to make these 3 1/4. From here to here should be 9 inches. I wonder what this 17 is. I guess this would be, let's see, 4 into 17 would be 4 1/4. And it looks to me like this is probably 1 1/2. 1 1/2. Is what one of my students. Oh, I see. All right. So I think that would be 3. So that would be, this would be about 6. So let's try that. I'm tempted to just, I'm going to make a pattern real quick and I can adjust it. It's so weird. I don't know what this 8 is. Unless this is 8. Let's do this one 8. So 1. Do this one. Do that 7. Okay. Which version of Gonzo are you making? I am making for me, the one from Muppets, the Muppet movie, probably from Muppet, basically season 2 to Muppet Show to probably Muppet Caper. 6. Basically, it'll be one that I'm actually tempted. Well, oh, that's not right. It's not 4 1/2. I want to be. I'm going to say 1 inch wider on both of these. So, let's say 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And I'll take this out to 5 1/4. I'm just guessing, so who knows? Sorry. That's cool. I came across your Gonzo build content yesterday and subscribed. Thank you. I love watching puppet builds and seeing the process from start to finish. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this right now, it's going to be a multi-week process. This is going to be the prototype, and then once I get to the point where I'm happy with it, I'm going to have the client look at it, and at which point there may be some changes, and then from there I'll make the final. So it's going to be a multi-week process for this. Do you build puppets as well? I think I'm going to give this a little gentle curve too. Let's see how that looks. I was going to shut that window, but I'm going to be gluing in a second. So. Okay, so this needs to be, sorry, this needs to be 3 3¼ at the top. About an inch. Oh, that looks awfully small. I'm going to do 1.5 inches. See, I love how I make all these measurements and then I ignore all of them. Let's see how that works. Okay, I bought 2 puppet replicas and still very happy with them as I enjoyed entertaining my nephews and nieces. Oh, cool. What characters were they? Grover and Kermit the Frog. Oh, those are great. Those are great puppets to fool around with. I made a Dr. Strange pork, and I built a Miss Piggy as well. Although I don't have the, I sold the Miss Piggy. I have the Strange pork over here though. Here, I can go grab. Let me go grab them because I'm unsure about this pattern here. Let me see one thing real quick. All told, it should be 9 inches. It's 10. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut a little bit off this middle part. Now all bets are off. Here, let me go get Strange pork. Oh, here he is. Hello there. Here I am, Dr. Julius Strange pork. If I can look in the right direction, here I am. There we go. No. Anyway, yeah, he's a fun little build. Actually, the way this one came about is I was just fooling around with foam and I was demonstrating some cuts, and it started to look like Strange pork, so I just made him. Yeah. Anyway. Oh my gosh. You're actually going to make one that you can get inside, a big bird that you can get inside, or are you going to make one that's more like hand sides? I don't know where to even begin to make one that where I would get inside of it. I don't know why I was trying to get cute with that cutter. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe I'll show you what I'm doing. Sorry. I got confused. Or maybe I'll put this on camera for you guys. Okay. The full costume puppet. I saw one guy made him very well done, and hands down for him. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little too ambitious for me. I don't know. Maybe something. I want to build a scooter. That would be the nice thing. That would be the one that I would probably do after this one if I were to do one. Oh, I almost have enough foam. I have more foam. I just don't really want to cut off more if I can help it. Oh, did I just throw some away? No. I'm like one short. Too short. I think I have some scraps. Let me see. I do. I think the one thing about Big Bird is that in addition to being able to get I could probably make the head up to the shoulders pretty easily, but the body and everything else is so like dependent on knowing how to actually sew clothes to fit people, fit a person. I don't really know that I could engineer all that. Maybe if I had a mannequin, I could figure it. I don't know. Who knows? It's really cool though if you can pull it off. I joined Facebook Muppet build groups to see others' puppet work that I have seen or haven't seen yet, but also for inspiration for future builds for me when I get the chance. Oh yeah, um, I started this build mainly because I've noticed that most of the eye mechanisms that people build don't work, or they get the puppet done and then it stops working. So a part of this is for me to try and figure out the mechanism or a mechanism that works. Oh, I should label these guys. Top, 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 top. It's less about me doing it the way everybody else has done it and just me trying to figure it out so that I can stop thinking about it. important thing about this is to try not to get too much of a bevel or any bevel in this. And I think I'm failing miserably at that part. The one thing is make sure that you use a dedicated pair of scissors to cut foam. You can do foam and paper usually with the same pair of scissors, but do not use your fabric scissors on them because you'll burn through them so fast. I always think that Gonzo's iMech is using a hanger wire, bending it to the way to where it moves good. I've seen it work for those that build Oscar the Grouch. You might be able to get it to work that way. I find that the hanger wire tends to fatigue so fast that it's not real reliable. So what I use is welding wire or welding rods, which you can get at Harbor Freight. And they tend to not bend as easily. They're harder to bend, but they'll also kind of stay in position. But as far as like prototyping and stuff, definitely the way to go, using the cheapest materials you can find. Actually, the most fun for me is figuring this stuff out. There's a lot of people who are like, no, this is the way you do it. Look at this picture here, do it like this. And I'm like, maybe, but maybe this will work too. Because really, at the end of the day, it's less about making a replica and kind of more about learning for me and also making a replica. It's mainly like it's a hanger wire is great for experimentation. It's just that it's so much trouble to try and fix something after you put it all together. It's like you kind of want to use the better materials on the finals just so you don't have to take it apart in 2 weeks to make it work again. All right. Got all our pieces. Let me try putting this all together. I was like, "Where's my where's my piece of paper?" And I just realized I used it to make my pattern. Here we go again.
Occasionally, I remember to put on gloves. Yeah, I'm going to buy some more contact cement tonight, I think. One of them. I think Gonzo is one of my dream build puppets. I would really like to make. I don't know if you know who this is. Nelson from Mongrels. I would love to do that. Love to build Scooter. Sometimes it's easier to just build original characters because I don't have to answer the question, aren't I worried about copyright infringement? That's the main reason. I avoided making replicas for so long because I didn't want to blacklist myself for ever working with Henson, but I don't think I'm ever going to work for Henson anyway, so I might as well just do it. They had their chance. So this contact cement is nasty stuff. I usually do it outside, but for the benefit of YouTube. There we go. All right.
I like watching a lot of different builders because we all kind of do it. We use all this. We all use the same materials and tools and things, but we all kind of have our own little ways of doing things too, which is it's kind of cool to be able to expose yourself to new techniques and whatnot. So things I might say or do might be different than what others might say or do while they're making their puppets. So the nice thing about upholstery foam is it's cheap, and it also has the same properties or flexibility. I guess I was say bendability, flexibility that that reticulated or dry fast foam has. But I think dry fast is less apt to tear, and it's also lighter. Just why I like to. It also hides seams better. I used to watch Adam Krutinger's videos when making different puppets. Yeah, he's great. I've been building for about 30 years, I guess. I guess probably professionally about 15, maybe 20. But even I found stuff that Adam figured out or showed that helped me out in my builds. I do my arm rods the way, or one of the techniques that he did, which has been very helpful. I never had removable arm rods for the longest time because they were always so problematic. But his tutorial on how to do that changed my life. So I can already see this is going to be pretty square. Make sure I get all the tops of the tops and the bottoms of the bottoms. And the one thing about reticulated is it tends to hold its it doesn't like it won't be as square, but this will give me an idea of what the shape is going to be. You can see how fast stuff yellows. This panel was off the old sheet, and this is off the new one that I have. And it's only maybe 3 months old. Okay. Where's my other scissors? So this upholstery foam is $15 a sheet. It's a huge sheet. And the reticulated foam, which I use for the final stuff, is $45 a sheet, and it's a smaller sheet. So I like to get all the patterns figured out on the upholstery foam, and then once that's done, transfer them over to the reticulated foam. So I'm a cheapskate. And there's really no point of messing up a bunch of foam just to try and find the pattern. Yeah, such an amazing man, gone so soon, but we'll be carrying on out the dream of making puppets and showing other people the magic of puppets. Yeah, I agree. If anything, it made me, like, I don't know for sure this is why he got sick, but these chemicals that we use are so nasty that I've really been diligent about wearing my respirator when I do it, or I don't always wear gloves, but I try to wear gloves when I can, stuff like that. I mean, there's really no reason not to. So I believe also there was an insert inside of the one I'm building, which I have the stuff, but I just don't want to use it in here. Okay. So there's the new body I made. I don't know if it's the right size yet, but that looks more in scale with what I wanted. So let me take some measurements. Okay, so according to this, I want to have a 13-inch opening here on the neck. Well, I've got a 17-inch opening on the neck. Okay, so let's see what I got here on the bottom, which should be 17 inches. Oops. Should have paid more attention in math class here. Okay, the bottom is 15. Did I do this wrong? 15, 13. Should be 9 going up here. It's 10. All right, so I got to make some adjustments. Let me make sure I have this right, because I can't imagine it being this off. Yeah, 15 and a quarter. So I got to take 2 inches off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop a notch out of all these. And that probably made it too small, but I'm also going to cut a little off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take it in here too. And I'm just eyeballing it. I don't know what I'm doing. The more you taper it, the smoother the curve will be. I'm also have to take an inch off of this thing, so. I'll take the inch off after I glue it up, once I get this correct. Actually, it might be, I'm just going to do it now. I love how I say something and then immediately contradict myself. Well, I don't know if it'll ever get to perfection, but I'll get close. It'll be recognizable. Okay. All right, let me glue it up again. I actually I can't believe how many puppets I built this last year. I mean, a couple of years ago, I had
I had a goal of making a puppet a month, and I think I achieved that. I think I did slightly more than that. But guy, I've done 3, 9, 10, 11. 13. I'm just counting off the ones I've done this year. There, no. 14. What else did I make? Oh, I made Godzilla, so that'd be 15. And I'm working on this one, 16. I made Maxidog, 17. So yeah, I've done 17 this year, I guess. Maybe 18. She's at the house. I think that's kind of a fine line
Between perfection and getting it done. I think there's a lot of people who get so intimidated by making it perfect that they never get past, well, never get started. I think a lot of it is just having enough, I don't know if it's confidence or, I guess, willingness to start. Okay, that at least tapered that a little bit better. This probably needs to be tapered again. Okay, so where are we at? I should, before I start making more changes. Okay, this is 7, 10, 13 and a half. I got really close to where I want to be. I probably still need to take a little bit more out. But I think I'll leave it right there for now. Oh, well, heck. So with this one, I know that I need a little bit more of a taper here because it's looking super square. And what I'll do is I'll get it so it's dimensionally right, and then I'll true everything up so that it's all symmetrical. So this is less about making it perfect and more about getting it right. If that makes sense. Okay. It's like an alien egg. See, this is usually like,
I don't want to put those gloves on again, but I will. That's one of the things too about replicas is a lot of the time, well, especially like, well, Gonzo is one, like a real good thing. He had so many different versions over the years. You kind of take the aspects of what you like and then make an amalgam out of them because you're never going to be able to duplicate every single one of them. Same with Kermit, same with really anything replica. But if you build an original character, you're the one that decides what everything looks like. So a lot of times it's easier. Unless you're working for a client and then they're like, oh no, we don't like that. Change that. Have you thought of making the alien puppets from Sesame? Oh, I thought that was going to go a different way. I don't know if I would build the Yip Yips or the alien puppets. I have built alien puppets like from H.R. Geiger. I thought that's where it was going to go. I don't know. I guess if somebody wanted one, I could figure it out. From what I understand, they were made from hats originally.
I actually have made more Muppets than I ever thought I would. I never thought I would make any of the pigs. Don't tell anybody I don't have my respirator. Okay. I can usually get a much smoother bevel out of these things too when I'm using the good stuff. This upholstery foam tears so bad. I basically make this shape as close as I can to what I think it needs to be. And then when I take it apart, I take the averages of the whole thing and it creates a new pattern, which is symmetrical. Okay, so let's take our measurements now. Okay, around here, around these parts, with it cut now, it's down to 14. So I think I'm going to take 2 more wedges out of this thing. Each one about 1/2 inch. Are you planning to make a small puppet on your next build like Rizzo or Pepe, or a live hand sack puppet? I probably won't ever make a live hand sack puppet. I'm not real keen on. I don't like to perform those types, so I don't usually build them. I guess if a client wants it, and if a client wants me to put it on their, allows me to put it on video, because that's the thing, is I build puppets for clients during the day, and then at night when I'm doing these podcasts, I put the stuff that that are just fun that I want to build, because the clients don't want their stuff to be on out in public before they're done, unless a client says, "Oh, I don't mind if you post it," then it won't be on the feed, at least at this point. As far as the mechanism stuff goes, I have done some mechanism builds. I just haven't documented them. If I do one, I mean, it's a possibility. There's a couple of mechanism puppets I wouldn't mind building. So that might show up in the feed at some point.
This is the part where the glue starts sticking to my hands because the one time I'm not using the gloves.
Okay, so now we got 13. Okay, we're doing good there. And then around here we want 17. 3.5, 7.5, 11.5. We're at 15.5. Okay, now here we want 9, which we're at 9, which is good. So, but I don't have a bevel on this one yet. So let me see. This could change everything. Okay. I think this curve here needs to be addressed just a little bit. I have a very I guess I don't know how to describe it. By the seat of my pants, I guess, way of building these things. And that one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. I think it's just this one though. All right. So as of right now, that's still a little chubby up here, it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to fix that. So what I want to do, just straighten this part out here and here. And that'll change because I want him to be a little hunchback in the back, just slightly. But we'll take those two lumps out. And I got to cut without putting it right into my finger if I can help it. I'm almost done with this stage of this. I think I'm pretty close.
I'll tell you one thing I've been thinking about building again online, especially online, because I made 4 of them already, and I'd like to make some more of the Mr. Rogers replica puppets. I'd like to make a couple of platypus and probably Daniel. I made King Friday and I made Leia Lane and X and Henrietta. And I'd like to fill out the cast with some of the other characters. And talk about a dying art form. Nobody builds puppets like that anymore, or very few. Certainly there's no tutorials about it. There are not very many. Okay.
I think that's about it for this one. So the neck is all fabric. So you have to kind of fill that part. Well, maybe I'll put the front in the front. It looks pretty good to me. Yeah. Hey, Steve, as a professional puppet builder, how do you avoid become a hoarder? Yeah. I don't know that I tell you what, the best way is to not take on a client list that includes 2 back-to-back Frozen performance puppets, because I brought in so much extra stuff that's just everywhere right now, and I still haven't recovered. So I've been in the process of burning through as much of that as I can and throwing away as much as I can. The biggest thing that I do to try and keep it under control is if I start saving something in case I need it, then I'm like, ugh, I really shouldn't hold on to this anymore. Like I held on to these little, they were the disposable dishes that a ramen noodle bowl came in. There were ramen noodle bowls, and I kept like 30 of those because it had an interesting shape. And I thought, oh, maybe I can make something out of this. I never made anything out of it, so I threw those out. Stuff like that. So that's probably it. Just if you don't use it after a set amount of time, get rid of it. Don't hold on to things just in case you're going to use it for something. I mean, there's certain things like furs or types of material that you may not find again. So hold on to those if you need them. But yeah, really, you start to, at least I start to realize the type of stuff that I need to keep over the stuff I don't need to keep. So anyway, that's kind of it. Okay, so I am done for today, I think. Good to see you, Dave. He's kind of hard without his neck ring in there. I'll probably make a new pattern. I can do that now, I guess. Yeah, let me make a new pattern. I'm not quite done. Okay, so now that I've accomplished this, I'll cut it all apart. Actually, before I do anything, put my registration marks on here. Okay. This would be right. This would be left. And yes, I know, because I'm thinking of it this way. So it would be, if this was my body. If this is my body, this would be the right. This would be the left. So anyway, all right. So these are all almost exactly the same. If I took the average of this, it would be symmetrical, which it's not quite symmetrical, but it's close. Let me do that. What are you talking about? He has some long limbs and body. Are you talking about me or me with the puppet? Okay, so I have a center line here. Let me get you on camera here. Okay. So I'm doing this on the whatchamacallit, on the fold. None of these tick marks are going to line up. But that's okay. See, it's pretty symmetrical. And that pretty much fits in there. That's a little skinnier, but not bad. Actually, the front and the right are thinner. So I'm going to trace those on there as well. I really only have to do one side of it. Okay. Now I'm kind of going to do the average of all these guys. How did I lose my scissors? I just had them. Okay, I'm just kind of doing the average of all these guys. And that, when I put it all together, should make what I had before, but all cleaned up. So I'm going to call this Gonzo body pattern. I'll put it together tomorrow. All right. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll take a look at it. I think I know which picture you're talking about. It's the one with the three that I think was it Chad made? Chris Chad? Let me see. This is all fascinating, I know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, again, this is so I'll show you what he sent me. This is from the prop store. The prop store version of it. This was from Muppets from Space, which was after he had the major redesign. So I'm less apt to use that as a reference because they made the puppet bigger and they changed the shape of everything. And yeah, I mean, there might be some stuff that I can get from there, but I think for the most part, I'm going to have to just keep using it. Well, I have to use the Terry Angus one as a base because the guy I'm building this for has a bunch of clothes that he had tailor made for it. So anyway, so this I'll do the best I can. I'm gonna basically make a new prototype of this thing, and then when I see him, I can measure it, put the clothes on it and stuff. So, anyway, well, I think that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I guess I'll see you guys on Monday, and I got to get back to some paying gigs. So, all right.